Minister, some Conservative MPs are alarmed by these changes to disability payments. Why are they wrong to be, in your view?
Well, this is something that is part of our ongoing review of how PIP works. This is a disability that supports people who need extra support in their everyday lives. We've seen a huge improvement with the PIP system compared to the former disability living allowance. In the old days, you'd get 16% under DLA would get the highest rated benefit. We're now somewhere between 20 and 22% on PIP. So it is a system that is supporting those with those extra costs. But we had a series of legal challenges that were providing uncertainty for claimants, that we had an independent review that said that some of these parts weren't being done right. So last year we conducted a consultation exercise and we worked very proactively with a number of charities, stakeholders, people with real experience on the front line, as well as taking advice from medical professionals. And then we have brought forward what we believe are sensible measures to try and make sure that we get the right outcomes to provide the continued support for those who need it.
What you describe as sensible outcomes, sensible measures, is seen as by many other people as cuts to the vital incomes of many thousands of people with disabilities.
Well, there's two things to be absolutely clear on. First of all, this is a future measure, so it's not something that's retrospective, it's for future people. And secondly, we will still see an increase in the numbers of people using PIP and the amount of money being paid out. And this isn't a small thing. We spend about £50 billion a year supporting people with disabilities. That's far greater than our defence budget, and it will rise every single year in Parliament. But when we look at the system, when we have independent advice, we have legal challenges and medical professionals saying there is duplication in the system, we are committed to continuing to improve it, to make sure those that have those ongoing significant extra costs are supported. And we've seen that, as I've said, we've seen a much higher level of people at the highest end under PIP than we did under the old system, and we will continue to make sure that is the case.
You are spending more overall, but you can't deny that some people with disabilities will lose perhaps a significant portion of income that they may see as vital.
Well, but we will see more people overall benefiting from the system. It will continue to improve year on year, working with those stakeholders, working with those organisations. I have regular meetings. They've got the experience, they're feeding into this. They shaped this consultation. We went out on a number of possible options, and this just focused on where there was duplication, to make sure that the system did truly reflect the significant ongoing extra costs. But overall, we will still see an increase in the funding every year in this Parliament.
But you don't deny that many thousands of people might lose a vital portion of their incomes, even though you're spending more overall.
Yeah, because this is a benefit that is directed to those that have significant ongoing extra costs, and rightly as a society we will see that funding increase every single year of this Parliament. That's something that we all support. And we will continue to work with those organisations, with MPs, whoever it is that has good experience, good knowledge in this area, to make sure that this is a sustainable, it's a benefit that gets right to the people that need those extra.
But with respect, Minister, you're talking about changes to the overall system. On a simple point of fact, do you deny that many thousands of disabled people who rely on this as part of their income will lose a portion of it? Do you deny that?
Yeah, what I'm making absolutely clear, this is a future change. This is not going to be retrospectively applied.
Those existing claimants, will it not?
It will only when they would come up for a reassessment.
Indeed, which will happen when the changes happen. This will affect people who currently get this benefit, and under your changes, many thousands of people with disabilities who see this income as a vital part of how they make ends meet may lose out.
But many more thousands will benefit, because this is a system that rightly is providing the support for those who face those ongoing extra significant costs. But what we have recognised, because of independent advice, because of legal judgments, is that there is duplication in the assessment process. We continue to look to improve that. That's widely accepted by everybody, that the PIP system is far better than the old system. We want that to continue. We will see that with extra money being spent every single year of this Parliament. But where there is a duplication in the system, it is only right and proper, if you are going to have a sustainable benefit that gets the support to those that need it most, that we have to continue to look at this. We will continue to work with all those organisations with a huge amount of experience in that area to make sure this is a sustainable benefit that supports the right people.
But that's sustainable in terms of its affordability rather than sustainable for those people who receive the benefit. But I just want to be really clear. You are not denying that many thousands of people who see this as part of their vital income, who rely on these payments, might lose out.
But I don't recognise this is a budgetary thing, because we are going to be spending more money every year. And I know,
but for individuals, it's a budgetary thing. It's
that
about how they pay their bills, how they keep the lights on in their house, how they are able to look after themselves,
but there will be
particularly as disabled people.
There will rightly be more individuals who will be benefiting from this system, because we are targeting the supports for those that have those significant ongoing extra costs. But where you have a system where there is duplication, that means that some of that support might not be going to those who have that. And we have to have a sustainable benefit, but this is one that will continue to grow. So there will be more people benefiting from it, more money spent every year. As I said, as it stands today, it's about 50 billion, significantly more than we spend on our entire defence budget. And that is absolutely the right thing to do.
But what do you say to those individuals, people with disabilities, watching, hearing what you're saying? What do you say to people with disabilities who may well lose a significant chunk of income that they see as absolutely vital? What do you say to them?
Well, to all, and I say the same thing to all of the stakeholder groups that I regularly work with, that we have a benefit that will continue to increase. The numbers that will qualify, that will benefit from that system, will continue to grow. This is a future measure, and it will be one that will be continuously developed with those stakeholders, those who've got the experience, to make sure that this is a benefit that supports those who are in need with extra significant costs. And that's just crucial to this.
So what do you say to them, though, as an individual? Because that's talking about the system. With respect, it's of course vital that you look very carefully at what we do with taxpayers' money. But for those individuals, what do you say to them? I mean, what do you say to a disabled person who might lose a vital share of their income and their next door neighbour is getting a tax cut?
But the two things are not linked. This was something that we launched a consultation on last year, following a legal judgment, following an independent review that highlighted that there was duplication within the system. And what we have done by working with different organisations through the extensive consultation that we have done, we've looked at that. It's part of our ongoing improvement to the process to provide certainty to the claimant. And what we will see is every single year, the numbers benefiting from this will increase and the money that we spend will increase. This is not a financial measure. It is providing a fair, sustainable benefit that directs the support to those that have genuine, ongoing extra costs. So for the people listening out there, those people will continue to benefit from this benefit, and rightly so.
Is there any chance that the government would look again at this plan? George Osborne this morning said he might listen to concerns.
Well, we're always working with stakeholders, individuals, people who've got that huge amount of experience in there. They very much shaped. We had a number of options in the original consultation. That's now been narrowed down. That engagement will continue. I'm very grateful for the constructive research and suggestions that different organisations bring forward to us. That doesn't change. What we're committed to is that every single year of this Parliament, we will increase the money that is spent on this benefit and help an increasing number of people with those ongoing significant extra costs.
But just to be really clear, you might look again at this plan, or
we
not?
are always looking at the suggestions that different organisations bring forward. This is a benefit that continues to change, and it's something that we will continue to engage in.
Can you tell us today how many people will lose out?
Well, the forecast that we have, and we will be producing detailed equality analysis, is 640,000 in 2020-21 will have an impact. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they lose their benefit. They might lose one of the points in the assessment, but a significant chunk of that 640,000 will continue to receive the benefit. And this is underlined by the fact that there will be more people benefiting from this benefit, and more money will be spent in every single year of this Parliament.
But can you tell us today how many people at that point will actually see a cut in their benefit payments?
That will come forward with the detailed equality analysis as we look at how this will happen. Plus then there's different changes within the system. And it is quite complicated because not everybody's on a benefit for life. Some people go on for a short period of time. Some people are on for life. We will be doing a lot of work in that area, and that will come forward.
But it's clearly going to be a significant number. I mean, if more than 500,000 people might be affected in some way, clearly then a significant number of people could see a loss in their income.
Of which some will. But actually a lot, they won't see a change, a significant number in that sense. But the overall numbers of people going onto the PIP system will continue to increase, and the amount of money being paid out in disability benefit will increase every single year in this Parliament. And there's wide support for that. But it's right that you have a sustainable benefit, and one where there isn't duplication in the system, and that claimants have certainty. The legal judgments, The advice on the independent review and from medical professionals is there is duplication in the system. We have to make sure that the benefit goes to those with those significant ongoing extra costs. And rightly, we've seen a significant progress on that with the introduction of PIP, and that's something that we wish to continue.
Is there any chance you might junk this whole policy?
Well, no, this is part of making sure there isn't duplication, that it's a fair system that reflects those with those extra ongoing costs. But I'm always in regular dialogue with different organisations, stakeholders, with their huge amount of knowledge and constructive feedback from their first-hand experience. We're always looking at how we can improve this benefit. But this is not a financial measure. Every single year we'll be spending more money on this benefit. There's support for that, but we need to make sure it is targeted at the people in the most need.
Isn't the truth here, it is absolutely a financial measure, because the savings that the Department for Work and Pensions hoped to make of the first reform to these benefits were wildly optimistic. You thought you would save £3 billion, you saved nothing like it, and now you're having to come back for more.
But this is not connected to finances. This is on the back of independent advice, this is on legal judgments, and it's to make sure that we look at how the assessment process works, that there isn't duplication, so we are targeting the funding. In terms of pure money, there will be more money spent every single year in this Parliament in this area, and more people will be benefiting from this benefit.
Minister, thank you very much.
Thank you.